Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
Tell me, how much do you love your family?
You don't want to do this. No!
Baby, I'm not made of stone.
My family is trapped.
So what's the plan?
Whatever it takes. It's gonna be okay, honey.
Skyscraper, rated PG-13.
Hello. This is Adolf Vega with
3D or 2D, and this is Dick Jarvis here, and today I'm reviewing Skyscraper, the latest Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson Hollywood movie. And first we'll talk about the 3D. It's mediocre, at least in the presentation I saw it in. The trailer, which I saw in 3D in a couple of different theaters, looked rather good. But when I went to actually see the feature, the 3D was pretty unremarkable, which is disappointing because that looked like all that fire and should have looked really popped. A few moments popped here and there, but it wasn't of any. It's just not worth springing for the 3D. I'd give it a pass. If you want to see this, go 2D. You know, save the money. I would give the 3D on this. I would grade it out at a 5.
All right. So you would give it, I guess, official rating as a weak 3D, 2D recommended, right?
That's what I would give it. Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This podcast is brought to you by 3D Wiggle. With 3D Wiggle software, you can impress your family and friends with 3D gifts and videos. To find out more information, please click on the link in the description for 20% off coupon as well. This podcast is also brought to you by Patreon. With Patreon, you can become a patron and get this podcast commercial free and get many more benefits. Please click on the description again to get more information. Now, back to the show.
And Skyscraper is, how do I put this? Homage to several movies, most notably Die Hard and The Towering Inferno. And Western audiences probably won't pick up the Game of Death and High Risk call-outs, but they're there. If you're into Hong Kong movies, those little things will probably put a smile on your face, along with a couple of minor parts being played by some Hong Kong actors. Nobody really big, but some character actors. Look, if you've this movie just isn't very good. Let's not beat around the bush. It's pretty lazy. It's not very imaginative. The Rock and his son's disabilities in this film exist simply as plot devices. This movie's pretty grim. It really could have used a sassy sidekick or a flamboyant villain, and it has neither. Neve Campbell is really good, and it's a great part, and she's great in it, but unfortunately not enough. She should have been leading this movie. You would have had a better movie, maybe. What's the movie about? Besides 30 minutes too long, it's basically The Rock runs into a burning building to save his family, and that is it. Sure, there's some minor little details here and there, but they're like MacGuffins. They add nothing to the plot. There's no surprises. You know exactly what's going to happen, who's going to win, who's going to lose. You know it before. You know it when you see the trailer. You've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie, more or less. Unless you really got to see some of these stunts that aren't referenced in the American trailer, like the helicopter and the Hall of Mirrors shtick, which is from Game of Death, and Orson Welles did it before, and this time it's done with computer monitors and some virtual reality nonsense. Like I said, lazy movie. Not much going on. I would give this 4 out of 10. What are we talking about? 4 out of 10. And I wouldn't waste my time seeing this unless you're a hardcore rock fan or hardcore Hong Kong movie buff. Even though I don't think this will really scratch that itch, because this is just too big budgeted and too slick and doesn't have the punk rock energy of Hong Kong movies. Shame, because I was kind of rooting for this movie.
That's it for us. Bye.
Bye.
All right, before this podcast ends, I want to give a thank you to my patrons. Right now, we have one patron, which is David from Spain, and I want to thank you for your financial support to help making this possible. If you want your name to be called out and your location, please become a patron on Patreon. Our link should be in the description, or just look for us, 3D or 2D, on Patreon, and you get plenty of benefits. So again, thank you, David from Spain, and I hope to have many more Patreon patrons with us soon. Thanks again, David. All right, so that's going to be it for this podcast.
We now have a Patreon, and the link is in the description. Thanks for watching.
And we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, a little bit everywhere. Just look for us, 3D or 2D. And of course, review us on iTunes. And if you want to write us a letter, our email address is email3dortwo2d@gmail.com. So that's going to be it. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.